We will see how the minimum mode bus signals are derived in 8086. We will first focus on address latch enable, data enable, and data transmit receive. Okay, then later we will move to these memory and IO signals. So the first signal is address latch enable. And what is the purpose of address latch enable in 8086? Its purpose is to demultiplex the address lines from the lines with it shares the duty. Okay, so if you see line numbers A0 to A15, they are multiplexed with data lines, and line numbers A16 to A19 are multiplexed with the status bits S3 to S6. Okay, so during clock cycle 1, that is T1, we need addressing part, right, of these lines. So addresses should be separated, so or addresses should be latched so that they can be used for their purpose. So how is it possible? So we have some latching chips, that is 74373. We use three of them because each latch chip contains 8 latches. So we have here around 20 bits to latch, so we need three latches or three latch chips. Okay, and one more thing is this address latch enable will be controlling the latch enable inputs of these three latches. Okay, so we will see how this latch enable combination will help us to latch or get the required address from the latch. So this is the internal architecture of 74373 IC. So if you see one such IC, we have many D flip-flops, actually 8 D flip-flops, right, arranged in parallel, and this latch enable will actually enable these flip-flops. Okay, so when the address latch enable signal from 8086 reaches here, it will enable all these flip-flops, and whatever address values are there across these inputs of the flip-flops, they will be latched or they will be entering or set into the flip-flops. Okay, then there is also an output enable section or output enable pin, and when this is enabled, then only the address information that is latched into these 8 flip-flops will be available to the output bits. Okay, so that's how it works. So in short, what happens is when address latch enable is produced by 8086 in first clock cycle or T1, effectively all these flip-flops will be enabled, and 8086 will be putting the address information in AD0 to AD7, AD5, AD8 to AD15, and AD16, A16 to A19. Okay, so those address information will be actually put into all these flip-flops, and they will be waiting to reach the output pins. When output enable is actually enabled, they will be reaching out to the output pins. So this is how address latch enable will help in demultiplexing address pins. Okay, now we will see how data movement is possible using these signals. Okay, or how these data movement signals are used by 8086. These data movement signals, that is DEN, data enable and data transmit receive, are generated by 8086 in minimum mode. So the only thing left is to see their function. So when some data movement is supposed to happen, right, we know that it happens during T3 and T4, but actually these signals will be produced much before that. What happens is data enable will be triggered. Okay, so data enable will actually enable these two ICs, that is 74245 ICs. They are actually transceivers or buffers which will help us to conduct data in two directions, either from the CPU to peripheral direction or from peripheral direction to CPU. Then this data transmit receive actually controls these transceivers or buffers in their directional flow, or in which direction they should conduct. Okay, again we have what AD0 to AD15 pins participating here. The upper address pins won't participate because only data movement happens here, and we know that the data pins are only 16 bits in size. Okay, so we will see how 74245 ICs help us in data conduction. So if you see the internal architecture of this IC, that is 74245, and the corresponding truth table, we can visualize that these buffers, right, they are actually tri-state buffers, and these buffers are pointing in the direction of conduction. So the upper row buffers, that is these buffers, conducts from the B input side to the A output side, or the conduction happens in downward direction. Then about this row of tri-state buffers they will conduct from A1 side to or A side to B side. Okay, that is in the upward direction. So what happens when E and direction pins are enabled? So what is E pin actually? The E pin is actually the data enabled signal coming from 8086. That is, it says that some data conduction is going to happen. So that is the E pin of this IC. Then what is DIR pin? DIR pin is our data transmit receive. Okay. So when E is low, right, or data enable is low from 8086 and DIR is low, that is we are actually hoping to have a receive operation. What will happen? Or this one is low, what will happen? What happens is this B to A conduction happens. So what happens is suppose this is B and this is A, this side is A. So this B to A conduction, that is means reception of data from peripheral to 8086 will happen. Okay. Then what will happen when this condition happens? That is when enable is low or this chip is enabled and the direction is set to H. So at that time, the conduction from A side to B side will happen. So it means that conduction from the processor side, that is data will be conducted from processor side to the peripheral side. Okay, so that's what happens in case of this 74245. So we have indeed covered how data transmission as well as the address transmission happens in 8086.